Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Hot Talks. You're joined today by myself, Scott Acton, and Aaron Acton. As he am,
Not too bad, mate. You?
yeah, not too bad. Jamie's not with us today because it is Uncle Kev's birthday. So first things first, happy birthday, Uncle Kev.
Happy birthday, Kev.
Looking brand new, and Jamie's having a romantic dinner. So enjoy, everyone, on that side of the family. So just us two. Villa Liverpool Saturday night, 8 o'clock kickoff at Anfield. On the face of it, obviously a tough game, but form-wise, Villa are in great form, and Liverpool are really struggling at the moment. They've lost 6 out of the last 7, and the only one that they won in that 7 was the Champions League game against Frankfurt when they won 5-1. Thoughts on Liverpool so far this season, has he?
They haven't seemed to be clicking have they, at the moment. Obviously, take the form out the window. This is still one of the hardest games in the Premier League away to Liverpool. So we can't forget that on Saturday. They want to try and turn their form around. But yeah, I just feel like they've been a very I don't know, just not. I've watched them a couple of times. Haven't been linking up the play as well as they were. Salah's been very quiet. Van Dijk seems to be making a lot of mistakes. So I reckon they're set up probably how he did against Man City, and we'll give it a bloody good go. So I'll take a point still, even with the current Liverpool form and our form. I'll still take a point.
Yeah, I think I've not seen loads of Liverpool, but it looks like they're struggling. Obviously, in the full-back positions, Trent not being there anymore is probably a bigger loss than people thought because he was probably their most progressive player, although he's a right back, and he probably freed up Salah quite a lot. They've obviously got the Isak Ekatike issue. I'm not sure if Isak's back, but Ekatike started off really well and then seemed to have gone off the boil a bit since Isak's actually been fit and available. Like you said, Salah is out of form, you could probably say, but still really dangerous in that respect. Can you put your finger on why they've struggled this season?
No, not really. Like you just said, they lost Trent, but then defensively, Trent wasn't obviously the best defending, but going forward, he was obviously moved into midfield, which allowed other players to push further up, which obviously we're not seeing this season. Obviously, they've been going down at half time and then they're putting Szoboszlai right back a lot of the time. I don't know if you noticed that. Kirkus hasn't really clicked on that left hand side. So defensively, they're a lot worse than last season. Kanate, I'm not a big lover of anyway. I was like I said earlier, Van Dijk seems to be struggling a little bit at the moment. So probably a perfect time to play them. But then on the flip side is they want to stop their bad run of form. So hopefully we go there. Hopefully we go there and do well and come away with, like I said, at least a point.
Yeah, I think if you offered it to most now, you take a point, like you said a minute ago. Anfield's still one of the toughest. They rarely lose games there. I know they lost the last one to United, and then they lost to Palace last night in the cup, which was a very much changed team. In terms of obviously Villa, we're in a really good position at the moment. Great win against City, great win against Tottenham the week before, and we're 4 from 4 now in terms of the Premier League. In terms of that City match, is it going to be a similar setup to how we set up, similar personnel, and a similar game plan? Soak it up, try and hit them when we can on the attack, and get something out of the game that way.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll probably be obviously a bar and Bendia, which I've heard nothing about since the weekend. I imagine it'll be the same team. Probably will he bring Sancho in or maybe Gazundon instead of Buendia? I don't know, but yeah, similar sort of setup with team, I'd imagine. Um, at the end of the day, so like you said, apart from that go ahead Eagles game, we're in really good form. So you don't really want to change a winning mentality going into a tricky away game at Anfield. But it's still a tough game if you ask me. And this one of them where, like I said, you walk away from it, get a point, even if you play well and you give it a good go, and you haven't got nothing out of the game. There's still something that you can still be upbeat about, considering our form.
Yeah, I think if you had said prior to Tottenham that you'll get even 6 points out of 9 against Tottenham and Liverpool away and City at home, you probably would have taken it. If we could get 7, even better, and if we could come away with 9, I mean that's a fantastic return.
Yeah, and also the way we play suits playing against better teams.
Yeah,
Which we've said for a couple of years now. I know it does sound a bit weird, but the way we do play does suit playing against the better teams. And even Guardiola was very complimentary. I don't know if you watched the one me and Jamie did. Very complimentary about us before the game. So obviously, I think Liverpool will be worried going into the game of their form, but hopefully we come away with 3 points.
yeah, I did watch the review that you two did. I think it's always nice to hear good comments from another manager, especially someone in the ilk of Guardiola. In terms of slot for Liverpool, it's probably his first real test now to see. You know, if you think the minute he's come in, he's been pretty not playing sailing, but they kind of ran away with the league to a point last year. This is the first time now, you know, the best part of what 400-500 million spent in the summer to improve a winning team, and obviously at the moment it's not clicking. So it puts him more in the spotlight to see can he get himself out of it. You know, we know from the start of this season we were in a bad spot, and Emery's turned it around. I mean, do you think this is just a blip for Liverpool, or do you think maybe that's just where they'll end up this season?
On the whole, I'll probably say a blip. But then I know obviously they won the league last season quite comfortably, but most of that was from a Klopp team. He didn't really make many changes last season, did he? So obviously he's come in this season, got rid of a couple of players, spent a lot of money. And sometimes, as we know as Villa fans, it does take time to click for players. So for me, it was probably just a blip. But if he loses the weekend, and it'll be interesting to see what Anfield's like after the game if they do get beat.
Yeah, I think if we can go there and get an early goal, and then really get the crowd. You know, I know they'll back them, but you know that will definitely throw a spanner in the works if we can go and score early, and get ourselves in front. I'll put some questions out on the TikTok page, and you just touch on Buendia. So I'll go to one which was sent in from Rob, who said, "Who fills in for Buendia? Is it a Sancho? Is it a Gassond?" You know,
I was thinking this earlier. For me, it would be a Sancho, so I think he does deserve a start. The only other option he has got is bringing in like a Bogard and putting 3 in the middle, maybe. I know he doesn't really tend to do that much often, but it's an option if you know what I mean. And then you got McGinn and Rodgers out wide with Watkins up top. But for me, I'll be bringing Sancho in just for the game time he's had recently. For me, he's actually looked pretty good. And his link up play, especially with Maatsen, when Maatsen's on the pitch, has been quite good as well. I know Digne will probably play, but his link up play with the left backs have been pretty good as well.
yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see would he go with Sancho away from home, or would he go with a Gasson maybe, and go that way and pick them maybe the more working like Gasson is probably better defensively, but doesn't offer nowhere near as much going forward as Sancho. And also be interesting to see Sancho's reaction to. I think obviously it's probably a bit made about him coming on and coming off, although Emery's done it, 3 or 4 times already as Villa manager. I think the bit was obviously made about Sancho's reaction, but let's be honest, no one's going to be best pleased to get subbed on and subbed off, whether it's the right thing to do or not. So I think that's understandable. We did have another question from Rob, and he said, "Is it a game for Marlon to start over Ollie?"
No, for what Ollie offers, his lack of goals at the moment isn't a concern for me because as you saw from the weekend, his overall play is still pretty up there. Working the defenders, moving into the channels. His hold-up play against Man City, I thought, was a lot better as well. So his overall play is still there, and I think it's the lack of chances that he's getting, which obviously is what we're trying to create for him. Hasn't been up there this season. Marlon's obviously he got the 2 goals when he played alongside Ollie, didn't he? Which I think would Marlon's more suited to the right hand side, but it proved when Marlon plays up front on his own, he's not as effective as when he was up there with Watkins.
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo what you said about Ollie in terms of the game Sunday. I thought he was really good against City. Obviously, he didn't score, but his overall game was pretty good. His hold-up play was good. Made some good runs. Makes a lot of runs and doesn't actually get it a lot of the time.
No.
But as a whole, the whole team played well. Is it the game for Marlon? I'll probably go over no as well. I think he might suit certain games, but Liverpool, I think he'd be better as an impact player.
Yeah,
I
you
think
never
Ollie
know.
would get.
He might bring Marlon in for Buendia. You just don't know, and go back to that formation that he did. You never know, do you? So
Yeah. I think Ollie would get a bit of joy out Canate.
oh yeah, I don't really rate Canate at all.
No, I agree. We've got another couple of questions. I'll just go through the questions. We've got one from Brian Wrestling and another one from Ems Davis. Now they're very similar, and it's why is Elliot not playing? And thoughts on Elliot, with the rumour being, obviously, if he plays a certain amount of games, we have to then pay a certain fee. What's your thoughts on the Harvey Elliott situation? He obviously wasn't in the squad Sunday. Emery keeps coming out and defending it slightly, but thoughts on it?
Yeah, obviously we won't see him at the weekend. Obviously we're playing against Liverpool, but for me, when you hear Emery talking, it's like he believes that Elliott's a good player, but whereas Emery prefers like a quite a slow approach going forward. It seems like Elliott's a bit too, I wouldn't say aggressive, but too fast when he gets the ball moving it. So maybe he's just working with him and training potentially to get him to what he wants him to do. Along with the appearances, so I can't remember how many appearances it was. Was it 20? I can't remember how many it was.
I thought it was 10 starts, but
Was
I
it
think
10
there's
starts?
loads of different
Yeah,
things getting floated around.
yeah. When we brought him in, I don't know if you remember. He's not really a typical Emery signing, Harvey Elliott, especially for the way that Villa play. But he was a player that I thought, bloody hell, it's a fucking good signing for Villa. But yeah, at the moment, I just think he, and like I said, Emery said it a couple of times, he just seems to be a bit not with the system that Emery wants him to play at the moment. So maybe that's got something involved. Obviously, as well as Emery, when he makes signings, he seems to always go back to the ones that he trusts. So is there a
Yeah.
trust issue there potentially? I can't quite put my finger on it, so I don't know if what your opinion is on that.
No, I can't quite put mine on it either. I would say if it gets to Christmas and he's still not really featuring much, then that might be telling because it's still another couple of months of getting used to the system. If it is a
Yeah,
case of that, you'd like to think come Christmas he would be up to the system, and there's still plenty of games to play after Christmas going into the new year. And in that respect, it'd probably be like a January signing, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard. You obviously have loads of different rumours and people have their own opinions. You look at it on the face of it, he's a good player that probably is a differential to Rodgers in that 10 role. But yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. It might just be a case he doesn't fancy him, and like you said, he wants to work on him from a tactical aspect. I think the interesting thing is the three that we signed on deadline day when we were all crying out for signings. Lindelof, we know what his role was going to be, more of a backup anyway. But Elliot and Sancho haven't pulled up any trees yet, and I like what Sancho's doing. I think he looked good. But I pretty much guarantee if Emery picked his best 11 tomorrow, neither of them
No.
two and Lindelof wouldn't be in it.
No.
So yeah, we had another question from Brian Wrestling who said, "Who is the most important player currently in the squad?"
That's a tricky question. It's a good question, actually.
Well, you're only allowed one.
I'm not known to.
No, one.
Let's go. Probably Ezri Konza, I'll say.
Reason?
Tricky between him and Kamara.
Yeah, well, I would have had the same two, to be honest. Probably for similar reasons. I think Conce's just. I think we were talking about it the other day, and I think you put the question to me and Jay, how much would he be worth now?
Yeah.
I just think you watch him even against Haaland. I know Haaland didn't have his best game, but he didn't really have a sniff. He had a couple of half chances. Good on the ball, strong, pops up with a goal now every so often. Just he's as a defender. I know I'm a bit biased to the position, but you just watch him all day. Like he gets the ball in such tight areas, and I'm probably jinxing him here, but just never loses it. The amount of times that Cash rolls it back to him, and he's on the byline, you think, oh God, like you don't want it there. And even on Sunday, I don't know if you could see it from the TV, but like he had the ball, he was like ushering, like telling Torres and Martinez to go, whilst getting closed down. And I thought, yeah, that's just look, you just look full of confidence.
Yeah, but a lot people don't unless you're an actual Villa fan, people don't realise how good he is.
Yeah,
Like he's positioning as a centre back is 20 out of 20. Like his positioning always seems to be spot on. Like he's never out of place. Composure on the ball, the way he defends. Yeah, for me, he's like unsellable. No matter what anyone offered us, I don't think I could sell him.
yeah, I agree. I think he is indispensable. I don't think Villa sell him an upgrade in that position
No,
at all.
never.
And I think Kamara runs a close second. I think we both would have had him second as a second. As it stands at the moment, he makes such a difference to the way that we play. Breaks the play down. Is so much better actually on the ball than people give him credit for. And yeah, I think them too. I mean, let us know obviously in the comments who you would pick as the most important.
Just off the back of that, I saw something in the week. I don't know if you obviously this is I haven't pre-warned you, but just asking you a question. The question was how many of the players that we currently got under Emery in the last couple of years were getting an all-time Aston Villa squad, which I actually thought bloody hell, it is actually quite difficult because obviously from what we've watched since we've been obviously Villa fans, I
Well, as
it's a,
in the squad now or
yeah.
Emery signings?
So since Emery's taken over, any player that's been in the squad, how many of them were going all-time not Aston Villa squad?
Yeah, it's tough. I
Yes,
think
it's a tricky question, right?
you'd probably have Ollie, Martinez, Konsa, McGinn, Kamara, and maybe Tielemans in the conversation.
That's what I mean. It's a lot in there. It's a lot of players.
Yeah, it depends
When you
again,
think
probably
about.
on the age that you are. In terms of us, we can only, the best team that we would have seen as a Martin O'Neill team. You probably we got a lot of love for the Dean Smith team, but that team was nowhere near as good as this team or Martin O'Neill's team. But you had a lot of characters in there that you had a lot of time for.
There are a lot of people in the comments who actually said if they carry on the way they are, Luca Dean and Matty Cash, because left back and right back over the years haven't been great for Villa. So even if you had them, you know what I mean? It's a tricky question.
Talking about Cash, we had another question come in from Aaron, who it's a bit void because Jamie isn't on, but said, does Jamie regret having doubts over Matty Cash? Now we're just glazed over it because obviously he's not here to defend himself, but I'm kind of on the fence. But he is playing very well at the moment, Cash, and I think it was good news that he signed a new contract. And I think, like you two touched on in the City review, you forget how long he's actually been here now. But he's having a very good season. But the next time that we're on, we'll put the question to him. The last question that we had in from someone was from Z4CH_Will on TikTok. Said, does Rodgers have a future at Villa based on other clubs being interested and that he doesn't look overly happy at the moment?
At the end of the day, everyone goes through a bad patch, don't they?
Yeah.
For me, when Rodgers plays well, Villa play well. He's the transition from our defence to midfield. He can carry a ball for us. He can get us out of pressured situations just from his ball carrying. And even like last season, the goals and assists, I can't quite remember what they were, but for how many games he actually played, I actually thought his goals and assists were actually pretty good. You
It's
didn't
like
realise
like
how many
16 and
goals.
14 or
Yeah,
something.
you didn't realise actually how many goals he scored last season. So for me, he's another one where when he's on form, he's always a 7, 8 out of 10. I know he's been absolutely poor at times this season, but go back to the Tottenham game, just a bit of individual brilliance has got us back in the game. Obviously, if teams are sniffing around and he actually said, "I want to go," you'll be asking for a lot of money, I would imagine. But for me, I wouldn't sell him. He's still young, and he's got a lot of trust from Emery as well. As you can see, he never brings him off, does he? He never.
No, yeah, Emery loves him.
So I mean, he's up there for one of Emery's favourite players. But for me, I wouldn't sell him personally. But then if a club comes in and says, "Oh, here's 120 million," it's a question that's got to be asked, isn't it?
Yeah, every player's got a price, ultimately. I think Jamie put it in the group in the summer with you when we were struggling with the PSR stuff. Would along the lines of would you sell Rodgers for 100 million to improve the rest of the squad? I think I said no, just because I don't think there's any other player in the league like Rodgers when he's on song.
No.
But I'll give him his due. The last few games he has looked better. I thought he looked good against Spurs. When he come on against Go Ahead Eagles, he looked our most likely player. And he put a good shift in at the weekend, which is good. And yeah, we'll need him. We'll need him Saturday against Liverpool. Before we wrap it up and move on to our new feature of the quiz, score prediction for Saturday.
1-0, 1-1.
Okay, I'm gonna go for 2-1 Villa. Goal scorer.
Banana.
Liverpool connection. I'm going to go for Ollie. And because we've just said him, Conta. Give me some fantasy fucking football points. I had Van der Ven on the bench tonight at the weekend. He had more points than the whole 11 combined.
I had Matty Cash and Van der Ven in my starting 11.
Shocker. Absolute shocker. Right, we are going to start doing something a bit new for the last 5 minutes of each episode, which is you're going to do a quiz of sorts. Me and Jamie are going to do the answers now. Jamie's not here because it's his dad's birthday, which is fine. But you've done a little top 10, so I'm going to attempt the top 10. Get involved in the comments on this. Let us know your answers. Let us know. Tonight's a top 10, as you would explain it, but put down, let us know what you get on.
Yeah, it's all I've got. Obviously, it was meant to be for you and Jamie, and then obviously we count up the points that you get and we roll it on to the next episode and so far. So, but as it's just you, we still go with it. So all I've got tonight is just a top 10 of clean sheets for defenders, but only in the Premier League era. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Whether how many you reckon you can get out of the top 10?
How many I think I can get? This is for the whole time.
Since the Premier League began, yeah.
I reckon I can get. Fuck knows. 6.
Go on then.
John Terry.
Yeah, so he's number 1 with 214 clean sheets.
Fucking hell.
A lot. Isn't it?
Ashley Cole.
Yep, so he's 5th with 148.
Fucking, I thought he'd have more than that. Gary Neville.
So he's 6th with also 148, but he had more appearances than Ashley Cole, so Ashley Cole was higher on the list.
Who else am I throwing in?
There's 2 players in there that used to play for Villa.
2 players that used to play for Villa.
One of them was a loan signing, and the other one was with us permanently.
Carl Walker.
Yeah, so he's 8th with 133.
One was permanently. Centre back. Ronnie Johnson.
Nope.
Okay.
Don't just think of the Villa one. I think the Villa one was quite tricky, but
I will go for. Might be a bit later. Tony Adams.
no. So he was 20th with 115.
Fair enough. I thought he probably had the crossover. Sol Campbell.
Yep. So he was 4th with 153. That's 5 you got right. You need one more. You said you get 6.
Rio.
So he was 3rd with 189. So you got 6. Do you reckon you can get the other 4 or not? So you got 2nd place, 7th, 9th, and 10th.
Second.
With 195 clean sheets, the person in 2nd.
Ricardo Carvalho.
Nope, not even in the top 20.
Fuming.
But the person who's 2nd was only at one club.
Carragher.
Carragher was 2nd with 195.
That's impressive.
The Villa one's in 7th.
Give me some other clubs that he played for.
Palace.
Southgate.
Southgate 7th with 136. Then the person in 9th's more known for Liverpool, and the person in 10th is more known for Man United. Give you one guess at each.
Positions.
Liverpool centre back, United wing back.
I'll go Sami Hyypiä.
Yeah, 9th with 125.
And United, I'll go Patrice Evra.
Nope, Dennis Irwin.
Oh, of course, Dennis Irwin, what a player. It's a good list, to be fair. Not bad.
I'll give you. Guess who was in 12th for the all-time clean sheets in Premier League history?
Richard Dunn.
Andrew Hughes.
Wow.
Even I couldn't believe it. I was like, bloody hell.
Yeah,
Don't know. Obviously, us Newcastle. We played a lot of Newcastle, didn't he?
Fulham.
Fulham played a lot of Premier League games.
I know, but that's a good old list. That
122 clean sheets. Hughes had in the Premier League.
Nah, that's a typo, right? That's 17.
It's not.
Right, let us know how you got on with that in the comments. We're gonna start doing that on the end of each episode, just 5-minute quiz. something to just mix it up. Right, I think we'll wrap it up there, as we'll be back next week after the Liverpool game. Obviously talking Liverpool, we've had some really good numbers on the last couple of episodes, so thanks everyone that's watching. Subscribe to YouTube, follow us on TikTok, and thanks for all the support. Numbers are really good on both, and last thing to say, up the Villa.
Cheers, Scott. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa, mate.